major lead. Hannes Morin hits the front then. Bradley Barrett dropping to goes into second place. It's Mick Knowlton who's dropped to third place. Nick Cuppins has gone up into fourth place. So Cuppins now trying to attack third place and race winner from this morning, Mick Knowlton. Fifth place is Lars van Bark. Then it is Sabo Boldazar. Behind Boldazar it is Dylan LaHaye. Then it's David Remy. And then it's Clayton Ravenscroft and Patrick Rundqvist as they head down the straight towards the right-hander. Morin, Barrett. Then it's Knowlton. Towards the last corner. These three have been together all weekend on track. And they still find themselves together going onto the third lap of the last race. Bradley Barrett, I think, lining up a move. Oh no, and the 206 is coming. That's Tiggerson. So Calfold has also had problems as well. Apps and Turney, not the quickest of progress, shall I say. They've made progress. They are up into 22nd and 23rd places respectively. As down the back straight, I think Bradley Barrett being challenged. Well, I thought Mick Knowlton was about to mount a challenge there, but didn't quite manage to find a way through in the end. Barrett for now stays second, but I think he's going to have to go past his teammate here as they head down towards the right-hander. And here comes Mick Knowlton down the inside of Bradley Barrett, takes second place. So Mick Knowlton wanting to take 3 wins this weekend. He's already got 2. He took 1 yesterday, 1 this morning. He was second to start the weekend off. At the moment, if the flag were to go out now, he'd take 2 second-place finishes, 2 first-place finishes. That wouldn't be a bad result at all as they go down in towards turn number 1. Bradley Barrett goes back into second place. So a good move that from Barrett to retake second place from Mick Knowlton. Third place then is Nick Cuppins. I think that's Dylan LaHaye, is it then in 6th place, isn't it? Ravenscroft splitting the 2 GKS drivers at the moment as they head through the double right-hander there up towards the hairpin. Lars Zabo Boldazar, David Remy also there. You've got Lars van Bark in and around just inside the top 10 too, just on the edges of the top 5 down towards the last corner. And Hannes Morin leading the way from his teammate Bradley Barrett. A gap of about 3/10 then between the 2 teammates out front as we have a change for second. Nick Cuppins goes down the inside of Barrett then. Well, Nick Cuppins is making good progress here. He's was sitting in 15th place coming into today, so didn't go the best in the races yesterday, but he's going to lose second once again. So loses second then to Brad Barrett. Brad Barrett back into second place, and Nick Cuppins fights back. Cuppins fighting back down at the chicane. Oh, and Barrett almost in trouble there, so Cuppins back into second, and Ravenscroft goes third. Well, Ravenscroft picks up 2 places in 1 corner there, managing to go into third place. Looks over his shoulder, and behind him now is Knowlton, LaHaye, Boldazar, and then it is Barrett. Behind Barrett is David Remy. Here comes Dylan LaHaye down the inside of Mick Knowlton to take 4th place. But Knowlton, I think, may fight back going down the start-finish straight. Hannes Morin is being gifted victory here unless Nick Cuppins can close him down on his own. In the background, Ilian Breinseels passes Patrick Rundqvist for 9th place, I think that was, as they turn their way through the first corner. So good move there from Ilian Breinseels. Now down the back straight for another time. The top 2 have escaped from the rest of the field here. Then there's a gap back to 3rd place of Clayton Ravenscroft. Dylan LaHaye 4th place. Mick Knowlton 5th place. Boldazar 6th place. And then it's Brad Barrett in 7th place. Down towards the final corner. And this is now 10 laps to go for Senior Max. Mick Knowlton at the moment should still have enough in the tank to hold on to the victory. As for Turney and Apps, they are 16th and 17th respectively. So moving forward progressively, they're not quite together. Turney is on the case of Jason Lockwood, and has about 2 seconds in hand over Mars Apps. As there's a change between the two teammates. That's going to be Knowlton retaking 4th place from Dylan LaHaye. So Knowlton goes back through, as in the background, that's Brad Barrett going past Sabo Bouldazar. So Brad Barrett, big damage done to him. He dropped down to as low as 7th place, but has gone back through to 6th place now as they head up towards the last corner. Down the start-finish straight and across the start-finish line. And it's Morin doing a good job, as we're looking at the moment, doing a good job out front to lead the way for now. We are approaching halfway distance here, as Hannes Morin leading Nick Cuppins. And there is Nick Cuppins on screen in the 207. Then it's Clayton Ravenscroft. Then it's Mick Knowlton. Then it's Dylan LaHaye. Then it's Brad Barrett. Now, Brad Barrett is starting to recover pretty well now. He's now catching up to the back of Dylan LaHaye, as Ravenscroft lining up a move on Cuppins down the inside, going in towards Town 1, and Ravenscroft's through. So Ravenscroft back through, but only briefly. Nick Cuppins goes back into 2nd place. So a good move that from Cuppins to hold on to 2nd place. Ravenscroft then is going to be 3rd. 4th place is going to be Mick Knowlton. 5th place. Oh, but Ravenscroft once again goes through to 2nd place. Well, Cuppins is not giving anyone an inch today. Every time he loses a place, he's taking it back. But he's got Ravenscroft now having had 2 stabs at it. Brad Barrett has now been brought a lot closer to this battle as we head up towards the hairpin. Hannes Morin is checking out front. Ravenscroft, can he catch him? There goes Mick Knowlton down the inside of Cuppins. Oh, and it could get worse. Brad Barrett trying to go around the outside of the left-hander, completes the move, and now Cuppins is going to have to defend from Dylan LaHaye. Well, Nick Cuppins' race is falling apart here. He was once in 2nd place. Now he's in danger of dropping behind Bouldazar and going down to 7th place. So, well, the order: Morin, Ravenscroft, Knowlton, then it is Barrett, but Barrett looks to be lining up a move on Mick Knowlton here. Let's see if he makes it over at the right-hander. Yes, he does, almost. A bit of contact, but he's through. So Barrett then through into 3rd place. Just behind that, it is then Dylan LaHaye. Behind Dylan LaHaye, we now have, we've had a change. Bouldazar looks to have lost a place again to Nick Cuppins, or he wasn't quite able to get through. Out of the top 7, it's then David Remy, Ilian Breinseels. Joe Turney is now into 10th place, by the way. He's just gone past Lars Van Vark. Then it's Patrick Rundqvist, Jordan Brown, Nutley, Reese Hunter, Miles Apps, Philip Barber, Jason Lockwood. Then it's Harrison Ferrari, Brower, Boothorn, Overbeat, Newnham, Deckers, Tuzon, Calfold, Christensen, as they head up towards the line through turn number 1 they go. Ravenscroft has a gap of about 1 second to close in on Morin here, and he's only got around 5.5 laps to do it, so 2 tenths per lap is going to have to be the task. He's also got Brad Barrett not too far behind as well, so we've got an interesting few laps ahead of us here. Barrett can't go full out attack neither, because Mick Knowlton is sitting directly behind him. And is Mick Knowlton going to follow him all the way to the flag? Not too sure. But out the last corner, let's see what the gap is between the 2 leaders. Here they come across the line, and it come down, but only just. So 9.5 tenths is now the damage. So that is how much Ravenscroft has to try and close in on Morin. Then is Barrett and Knowlton, which we're looking at on screen. LaHaye is 5th. Barrett now defending from Knowlton. You can't blame him, really. Knowlton, of course, has won 2 races this weekend, and he's had a 2nd place. So Barrett will want to keep him at bay, not only for a race, but you've got to think from a championship point of view as well. Barrett will want to keep Mick Knowlton behind him, and not only that, he'll want Mick Knowlton to drop places, because behind Mick Knowlton You've got Dylan LaHaye, Nick Cuppins, Baldazar, Brian Seals, Remy, Turney. They're all there, but a good move that from Mick Knowlton there. That's a move you don't see very often, and he's gone past Barrett at a place he certainly would have expected it. And Barrett's now potentially going to lose a place to Dylan LaHaye here. They head up towards the line. Barrett's going to have to defend in towards turn number 1. And Barrett just about managing to keep Dylan LaHaye at bay. In the background, Joe Turney has gone past David Remy. So the driver that started down in 28th place is now into 9th place, and he's catching this battle very, very quickly as they head down the back straight. You might be able to pick him out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th is Joe Turney. So he's just behind this queue. You can see on screen there in the purple and silver colours as up towards the hairpin. Cuppins there was trying a move on Dylan LaHaye, didn't quite work. Baldazar now there, and Joe Turney's right with them. Well, I think Joe Turney's about to make his first move in this fight, and he's already grabbed a place. He's gone past Baldazar. So from 28th, he's continuing to move forward at the head of the queue. Barrett defending, and it's causing a train of carts. Turney's next victim is now Ilian Brian Seals. Brian Seals goes down the inside of Cuppins, and Cuppins there running wide. Delayed a little bit in the process, so Brian Seals gets a gap and looks over his shoulder, and now he'll see Joe Turney behind him. Brian Seals now trying to go down the inside of Dylan LaHaye. We are now just 2.5 laps away from the flag. Leaders are well and truly clear. Ravenscroft is 0.8 of a second back from Hannes Morin. That's too big of a gap, I feel, for him to close down in the space of just a couple of laps. As up ahead, that's Cuppins trying to move on Brian Seals, and Brian Seals forced off the track. Joe Turney's going to go for the outside into the right-hander. He's not going to work, and Barrett's gone back through to third. So Barrett into third, sorry. Knowlton may have been briefly there. Barrett into third place as they cut. He's in fourth place, sorry. Getting all confused with the teammates there, but it looked as if he just made a move. That's how far alongside to the outside Dylan LaHaye was. LaHaye trying to make the move round the outside was never going to work, was just trying to get the switch back, of course. Cuppins next along, then it's Joe Turney. So Turney has now gone past Brian Seals as there goes a move. Dylan LaHaye takes fourth place, but now Cuppins helps himself to fourth. So Nick Cuppins now into fourth place. LaHaye is down to fifth place, Barrett down to sixth, and here comes Joe Turney. We're going to have 1 lap to go at the end of this one. 4 drivers here battling over fourth place. Mick Knowlton in third is gone, as is Ravenscroft, as is Morin. So it's all down to the battle for fourth place now, being led by LaHaye. I think they're catching some traffic just ahead of them, are they? Or is that's Cuppins, of course. So Cuppins leading the way, LaHaye fifth. Then it is Barrett in sixth, Turney in seventh. Last lap board goes out. Barrett can see Turney now closing in. Cuppins, has he got enough of a gap to hold on from LaHaye? I'll tell you what, Cuppins went pretty defensive there. LaHaye still there in fifth place. Then it's Barrett in sixth place. Joe Turney in seventh. Turney close enough to make a move on Barrett here. Barrett may try and defend this, but Turney goes through. Well, I'm not too sure if there was a bit of contact there, but Turney has gone past, and that is sixth place for him. And Barrett's then not too sure if he was telling Turney to get on with it or if he was showing some frustration. That's Cuppins in fourth place, defending from LaHaye in fifth place. LaHaye, I don't think is going to find a way past, but we'll see out of the last corner. But out front, Morin, he was getting caught in the latter stages of the race, but it looks as if Hannes Morin is going to take the race win across the line. He wins the final race of the weekend. Second place goes to Clayton Ravenscroft, third to Mick Knowlton, and surely the event winner with that as well. Fourth place is going to go to Nick Cuppins, fifth to Dylan LaHaye, sixth place goes to Joe Turney. Brad Barrett finishes in seventh place. Ilian Brian Seals is eighth place. Miles Apps is ninth place. Then it's Jordan Brown Nutley in 10th. Reese Hunter finishes in 11th place. Baldazar finishes in 12th place. Behind that, it's David Remy in 13th place. Then it is Philip Varver in 14th place. Lars van Vark finishes in 15th place. Patrick Rungfist finishes in 16th place. Then it was Enzo Ferrari and Jason Lockwood. Storm Brorel finishes in 19th. Buffon finishes in 20th place. Then it's William Newnham in 21st place. And Deckers in 22nd, Overbeek 23rd, Tucson 24th, Calfold 25th, and then it's Sam, and then it was Harrison 26th, Conrad Christensen, 27th. Non-finishers for Tickerson and Richards Goldberg's well. Hannes Morin took the win then. Morin came into today 4th place, a 2nd place for him earlier, and now a win. That's going to be 2nd place for him, surely, overall, with Mick Knowlton perhaps just about hanging on to... Yeah, Mick Knowlton should take the victory. He took the win earlier, didn't he? So it will be Mick Knowlton who wins the event overall, but Hannes Morin with that win will take 2nd, and Ravenscroft should round out the podium in 3rd place with 2nd place there. So your top 3 in this race will be your top 3 overall, but just in a different order. It will be Mick Knowlton from Morin and Ravenscroft. Nick Cuppins, a good drive from him to finish in 4th place there. That race got very confusing at times. I'm not too sure if it was just me getting confused or if it was a little bit easier to follow from home, but there was a lot going on up and down the order. So, yeah, it got very confusing at times, but Nick Cuppins did come home in 4th place. He came into today 15th. He was 6th earlier, so 4th place for him. He is surely going to be in the top 10 at minimum. Behind that, LaHaye, 5th place for him. We'll just go through the rest of the top 10 before we go and hear from Hannes Morin. But 5th place for LaHaye. Good recovery from a bad start to the weekend. So a good drive there from LaHaye. He started 7th place. Then it was Joe Turney. How about that? Started in 28th place, finished in 6th. Pretty decent result for him. Barrett, 7th place. Brian Sills was 8th. Miles Apps from 29th gained 20 places to finish in 9th. And Brown Nutley from 24th on the grid finished in 10th. But let's go and hear then from the race winner and overall podium finisher, Hannes Morin.